Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of On the Range podcast with Warhog Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am one of your hosts, Mark Kelley, joined as always by my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg from Warhog Tactical. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it is going great. Just want to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. We couldn't do without your support, guys. Do us a huge favor while you're out there surfing on the interwebs. Swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com. Subscribe for those newsletters. I'm still trying to figure out a place to send out my newsletter since I've got banned for supposedly sending spam to myself, and it's a whole nother drama. But guys, please do us a huge favor, right? So swing by Apple, leave us a rating review if you haven't. John from Point Man Podcast was our last review, and that was back in January. So our rating to review ratio is not quite there. We're about a 1 to 5. So if you guys did sit there and hit that old 5-star button, just swing back down in the review section. I don't care if it's just a thumbs up emoji, man. Be like Fisher 911 and leave us 3 eggplants. I don't care,
Yeah,
right?
man, we'll take anything.
We'll take whatever, right? Because the bottom line is we're battling AI, right? And if you guys haven't figured out, everything is AI driven. Hey, what's your ratings? What's your reviews? All that stuff drives the train, and we just need your help. So you guys gave us time to tune in, listen to what we got to say. So just please do us a huge favor. Take 5 seconds, swing by, leave us a rating review. It'd be greatly appreciated. Since you're out there surfing the interwebs, guys, why don't you swing by our Patreon page, right? Become a member of the crew at patreon.com/on the range podcast. Bi-monthly Zoom calls with me and Mark. I think we got like 100+ training videos on there. Just a great place. And the crew members growing. So super interactive on there. And then something we're going to start to do, already started with our last words of wisdom, but special content for the crew, man. So basically what will happen is the show will go out. It'll air to everybody. However, there will be added content at the end. So if you are a member of the Patreon crew, man, stand by, wait till the ending credit music goes, and trust me, there'll be added content for you guys. So greatly appreciate our patron support and everything we do. Got OTR training on demand if you guys want to check out a different source to check stuff out, but really Patreon's the main point. And I'm super excited for this episode, Mark, because we've got some big news. But why don't you tell everyone who's this show, or what's it brought to you by?
Yeah. This show is presented by the Firearms Training Notebook. Rick and I are very, very proud of this book. The Firearms Training Notebook. Be 1% better every day. 1% better every day. That's a good looking book cover, man.
Yeah, man.
If you haven't already got yours, guys and gals, go to Amazon. It'll be there in a few days. They have been doing a very good job. I have to admit, very good job at, printing them and shipping them out really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've already bought one, it's probably getting close to time for you guys and gals to go ahead and order your next one. Now, here further down, in the year, we're going to have to update some stuff. But other than that, this thing is ready to go. It is ready to go. You can populate those pages with whatever you want. There's some ideas in there. Rick has a bunch of good QR codes in there that will get you started with the Warhog self-eval, all that stuff. You want to see and follow your progression. This is one of the best ways to do it. And it's the only thing out there like it. It's the Firearms Training Notebook. There's some other things out there that you can use, but there's only one like this. And it's a hit, man. It's a hit. So super proud of it.
Yep. And if you guys have purchased it, hey, thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Same thing. Do us a huge favor. Swing by Amazon. Leave us a Amazon review over there, because that's what helps kind of move this thing up the bracket so people get more visibility on it. So thanks, guys, for all your support.
Yeah. The thing too about the notebook, man, you get that and you start going onto the Patreon and become a member of the crew. You can document all that stuff. You can share with the rest of the crew members. It's just a lot of fun. So,
yeah, buddy.
But like Rick said, we have some big news. Dude, that's some high level production value stuff there.
High level. Yeah. Without a doubt, buddy. Great job on that one.
So let's go ahead and you start it. You've done a ton of work on this, buddy. I know I've helped out a little bit, but you have really been getting out in front of this, But why don't you go ahead and let everybody know? Now, we've kind of hinted at it, and we've done some things in the past, but this is a whole nother level.
Yeah. So basically what we've done is we now have Project Officer Survival. It's on the books. Okay. So what we have done is we have partnered with Jason Piccolo over at the Protectors podcast, who has started a 501c3. The Protectors Foundation.org is the place if you want to go to donate. But what we have done, Jason done the 501c3 nonprofit. What we will do is we'll do the execution portion of the training for Project Officer Survival. Right now, we are focused on free firearm training for law enforcement officers. Now, we've done quite a bit of these in the past, Mark. Between St. Louis, I think we've done a couple up in Ohio. I know I've done some down here in North Carolina, South Carolina, went out to Colorado. I mean, we've done a bunch of these events. The bottom line is this. Us going out, doing it on our time, that's great. And we want to support these guys. It just doesn't pay the bills, right? So really what we're looking at with this is how can we partner with people, whether it's in the firearms industry, just it doesn't matter, any business out there that's willing to get on board. And what we want to do is, again, where it's tax deductible. That's the key thing. Donation comes in, tax deductible to you, the company. And then whether you donate, dollars, equipment, whatever, all that stuff becomes a write-off for you. Then in turn, we can work with the marketing department to now, if you want to make it a marketing event, hey, if you just want to be anonymous, go, hey man, here's some money, go get these guys some training. Roger that. We can do that as well. But what we've kind of done in the past is companies have reached out. We've done basically a marketing type event, kind of usually in the local area of that municipality because they want to give back to their local law enforcement. And that's really what we're looking to do. But really want to ramp this thing up. And the whole purpose of like the firearms training notebook, right? That was a direct derivative from the things we saw out in the range because nobody was taking notes. It's shocking when we work with our canine officers for American Tactical Canine Association. They would all have logbooks on their dogs.
Yep.
Said, hey, where's yours for individual training? They had nothing, right? Mind boggling. But the point is Project Officer Survival. That is our mission, is to provide free law enforcement firearms training using tax deductible corporate donations, private citizens, if you want to donate as well. Hey, I'm not going to balk at it. If you feel driven to do so, you can swing by the protectorsfoundation.org and go ahead and give. But we want to ramp this thing up because personally for me, and I know for you too, Mark, we're tired of seeing our brave men and women basically get burnt down. Let's try to give them a skill set that, God forbid, they're ever in that deadly force encounter, they can be efficient and effective with their firearms and that threat and come home to their family. So that's a big thing. I know, we've kind of done, pushing it with Jason a little bit, trying to get the word out. But yeah, just trying to get the word that, hey man, this thing is out, it's running. Here's the thing. We're figuring as we go, right? So it falls right back to being 1% better every single day. This is a new kind of journey for us. So we're kind of figuring as we go. But again, it's getting incrementally better. Hey, how do we doing, our solicitations as a corporation? How we, not so much for the events. The events are pretty much, we got those worked out. It's now all the administrative behind the scenes, reaching out to companies. And again, guys, it goes twofold. So if you are a law enforcement agency and you are looking for potentially, free firearms training, cool. Reach out, swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, easy places there to hit the old mail button. Send us a note. Here's what we're going to ask you. Hey, how many officers can you support at one time on your fire line? What's the distance to your range? Do you have steel targets there or not? Just give us some infrastructure background so we know what we're dealing with. And as we start getting funds, we'll definitely start kind of rack and stack where things are at, size of the department, all that stuff to give us information, because again, we're going to have to start picking and choosing where we're going, what's going on. But yeah, we really want to get out there and, support our law enforcement officers. The thing is, yes, the firearms training is a big part of it, but here's another thing, man. to me, it's criminal to see a law enforcement officer out there this day and age not having a tourniquet on their equipment. Have a piece of life-saving kit, right? I'm telling you, the old argument goes, oh, you Army guys used to all kill everybody. Hey, furthest thing from the truth, right? My job, I was paid not to shoot people. They're not going to fly me halfway around the world, to go do a hostage rescue mission, then go shoot the wrong people, right? It's not what we do. Surgical type shooting, right? So that's first and foremost. But the second thing is, what comes with that is experience. Nobody ever went out the door without having a tourniquet. And oh, by the way, I carried a couple, right? I had one for me, one for the pooch. We won't get into the whole canine thing because that's a whole nother road to go down. But some of the things we're looking at is, hey, man, if your department is in dire straits, man, let us know. Let us try to reach out to those and see what we can do to get things worked out. But I think, a tourniquet, that should be SOP on every officer's duty belt. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Mark.
No, and that you make a great point, because there's going to be opportunities, and Jason is doing a bang up job where, equipment can be purchased, other types of training, but the one that we can do right now, that we can put into motion right now, is the programs that we're already doing, the firearms training. And the beautiful thing about the firearms training in itself is it's customizable as well. We got something coming up in the next week that is totally based on, it's firearms training, but it's totally based on folks who are transitioning their people to red dots. And then the instructors, good on them for saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, we might be able to learn how to shoot with you guys, but we need to learn how to teach and how to identify and analyze things that will save dramas if they're doing something, if we haven't seen and we don't know how to recognize those things. So we have some instructor development stuff going on. There's all kinds of things that we can do to help this along. But like you said, we're sitting there, we're tired of this stuff going on, and we're not just going to sit here and say, man, they need to have better training. You hear that all the time, don't you? Oh, that guy needs better training. Well, you know what? We can't complain about it if we're not trying to do something to help. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. And we're reaching out to, corporate donations to make that happen, because we just can't do this on our own. We're not independently wealthy. We're not billionaires. We can't do whatever we want all the time with not in being able to eat. We just can't do it. So this is going to help. This is going to help everybody that we touch. And I think it's a really great thing that you really spearheaded this. So hats off to you. Thanks, brother. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Jason took it and ran with it.
Jason took it and ran with it, right? Here's somebody else that took it and ran with it as well. So Spikes K9. So spikesK9fund.org. So Spikes, they're going to start offering in their Spike school one-handed shooting for the canine officer, right? So again, Spikes is another 501c3 nonprofit, right? They were like, hey, man, we see value in this. We want to add to our officers. So again, we want to just sit there and go, hey, man, how can we make these guys better, more efficient and effective with their firearms, that, God forbid, they're ever in that deadly force encounter? I don't. Here's the thing, Mark. I hope that I never have to get another text, email, phone call from somebody that's been in a gunfight, right? I'd prefer I don't. But, man, we've had them. I mean, look at our St. Louis crew, man. That's the one that pops out in my head. Literally 2 weeks after our training, two of the guys, two of our students, man, they were involved in a gunfight. It's like, hey, man, thanks for what you taught us, man. I think it saved our life. It's like, hey, man,
yeah.
I hate to hear that, but I'm glad to hear it, at the same token. Glad to, hate to hear that you're in a gunfight, but glad to hear, hey, man, you came out on top. So,
yeah, earlier this year, we had another jurisdiction in Indiana. I'm not going to release that yet, who the municipality was, but that just recently got that phone call.
Yeah.
Saying the exact same thing. And they actually attended the canine strong hand only shooting for canine handlers. So, we'll get some details out on that when they're ready to get. I don't know where that's at in the legal process, but successful. We're happy to hear that the officer and the canine officer and the folks that were with them are all okay. So it does happen, man.
Yeah, it happens more than it should, right? But we just want these guys to be as prepared as we can. You hit a key point, right? And typically when we do these courses, it's pistol only, because that's the standard across the board. But again, if you're transitioning over to red dot, hey, let us know that. Hey, if you've got carbines, you want to do that, let us know that. If you're looking for CQB type stuff and you've got, some type of facility there, let us know that. You want to do vehicle stuff, let us know that. I mean, just as much information, we can very much customizable whatever we need to. But again, if we don't know what people's needs are, we'll never know. And then the beauty is, the firearm training notebook is going to be a critical piece of it, because we're going to plug that in, make sure every single student has one, so that now they at least have a tool that they can sit there and continue their firearms journey to sit there and improve themselves 1% better every single day.
Yeah. And we've done, like you said, we've done these. We've done many of them actually now at this point. I don't know how many officers we at up to now that were provided this for free that we've done.
184 is my count.
184 that we were able to do on our own with some help. Big shout out to some of those vendors.
Yeah. So, we've got some people out there, Brute Force supplied us with sandbags. Brute Force was doing some where they were giving some sandbags away to the top dog winners. Grizzly Targets giving us steel out there, to bring that out there and be able to use that at the events. Kill Clifton Hoist, hydrating these guys and fueling these guys. Absolutely two fantastic companies. Oakley sat there and gave us, some glasses to give away. Notch has given us some hats, so we've got some great industry partners. And with that, if you swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, you'll see those industry partners listed. And as Mark likes to say, retails for suckers. We got a bunch of coupon codes out there. Aim Point's got a stellar one at Warhog 5. I know between, Safariland, Aim Point, Grizzly, Kill Cliff, Hoist. Brute Force. All these guys, I can't remember them all because they all got some little variation to there. But if you just go to the website, they're there and they're just great supporters, man. And that's what we're looking for is, hey, man, if you want to give back to law enforcement officers, here's a perfect way to do it. And we kind of, like you said, put our money where our mouth is, partnered up with Jason. He's got the whole 501c3 thing going. And let's go ahead and get this thing loaded up and let's start executing some courses for these guys and add to their survivability. Yeah.
Very satisfying to be able to do this. And we think this is going to take it to the next level. We'll be able to reach out to as many officers as we can. And, Jason Piccolo from Protect Your Podcast, he did a really good post talking about, and this was spearheaded by a lot of the things that you and I have seen, and what a great podcast you guys did together. And I remember down in South Carolina, we had that one young officer, stud. My man worked all night, gets off at 6 a.m., drove another hour, went to training all day, did it again, came back on day 2.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't let him off.
Yeah.
Now I get it. There's manpower issues. I get it. You can't leave, another guy by himself. I understand, but that's the level of dedication that we're seeing. And that's the level of dedication that we want to reward by making it as easy as possible for these guys and gals to show up in uniform, or men and women in blue, show up and get some, what we believe is very good, applicable quality training that's going to make them better. And they're going to leave with tools that are going to be things that they can do, including the notebook, to continue to make themselves better. They can pass that along. And we started to see, I'm going a little long here, Rick, but I wanted to mention this piece. We're starting to see instructors, people, and, guys and gals in these municipalities who are responsible for training, putting together programs, starting to show up, which is great. That is awesome. If you can send a trainer or a person who's aspiring to be a trainer to these courses for free, no cost to your agency, I'm telling you what, you talk about a lot of bang for your buck. We believe in this program, and what a lot of bang for your buck you'll get for free.
Yeah. And here's the thing, it's experience-based, right? So yes, Rick used to teach theory back in the day. All right. So prior to the GWAT, stuff like that, man, we were teaching theory. No, this is experience-based, right? So the stuff I'm telling you is not, dreamt up last night some magical, fairy dust secret sauce. Nope. We're going to give you techniques that run both day and night. I'm not one to go, hey, this is my daylight technique and this is my nighttime technique. Nope. This is your technique for both things. We're going to get you to think as officers, because a lot of times we're not going to run this range. Right side's not ready. Oh, do this, do that. Nope. We want you to think. We're going to set you up for failure. I'm going to tell you straight up. We will set you up for failure. Now, you'll only fail if you don't listen. You don't pay attention. If you fall into the rut of doing things you've always done, trust me, that failure trap opens up every single time, Mark. And it's driving a point home, right? I'm going to ask you guys to bring old t-shirts out. Why? Because we want to add realism to your training. We want to improve your survivability as much as we can. And again, one day, it's a short window. But trust me, you will walk away. I don't think we've seen anyone that hasn't been a better shooter at the end of an event. So.
No, that's really what it's all about.
Yep.
Just to make these guys a little bit better.
That's it.
Man. So again, guys and gals, Project Officer Survival, go to the protectorsfoundation.org. Jason at the Protectors podcast, man, you're doing a great job. And I know you want to make sure that you remind everybody about Spike's Canine.
Yep.
So we let these guys and gals know where to go and how this is happening. This is on its way, and it's coming. It's rolling right now. I can't express how happy I am that this is finally rolling out.
Yeah. So both sites are live, the protectorsfoundation.org and spikescaninefund.org. Both 501c3 nonprofits, right? Biggest thing is, if you guys donate to either one, just put a note in there, Warhog Tactical, just so it's tagged, so they know specifically this is going to Project Officer Survival. Yeah. And, I can't thank you guys enough for your support, right? So please spread the word out. Friends, family, if you got corporate friends, hey man, you think that might be interested. And they don't have to, here's the beauty. They don't have to be in the firearms industry, right? I don't care if you've got somebody from pick anything. It doesn't matter, right? This is a tax deductible donation to them. So if you've got Joe's Copy Shop and he wants to sit there and, hey man, show something back to his agency, have him reach out, man. We can talk, coordinations and all that stuff. But yeah, things are going to start getting busy here real quick, real fast. And same thing with the LEOs. You got friends that are law enforcement officers. Make sure you're passing this podcast on to them so they get the information. And then biggest thing is just reach out to us. We don't know what we don't know. So, between the two websites, warhog.com, kellydefense.com, easy buttons on there to press. Hey, send a note, boom, shoot a note and go from there. So,
yeah,
buddy.
Super excited about it. So again, guys and gals, go to warhog.com or kellydefense.com, join the crew, join the OTR crew.
Mm-hmm.
While you're looking up the two foundations, the Spikes Canine and the Protectors Foundation, check out the crew, man. Become a member. It's starting to grow. Really appreciate all the support that they give us, but a lot of good exchanging of information. We have 2 monthly Zoom calls, and you talk about an international group that really wants to become better. They share their stories. They share drills that they're doing. We have a shooting contest every now and then that these guys really like to challenge the old guys, as they say, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. And we're looking to really ramp that up because Rick has just dumped a whole catalog of training in there, and it's really looking great, and it's starting to see some growth. So we're really happy about that. But this episode, we're talking about the Project Officer Survival, but we're also proud to say that this episode is brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook, 1% better every day. It is a critical piece of our training regimens and program. So go check it out. Go to Amazon. They'll ship it to you really quick. You can go to the websites and get a signed copy. Rick will put his John Hancock on here for you.
Add a special note in there too, man. It just won't be just a signature, man. We put a little special note in there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but again, man, really looking forward to this Project Officer Survival that you've really spearheaded.
Thanks, brother.
I know we're all working on it, but man, this is your thing that you really got going, and like 184 officers already.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to Warhog,
84 officers that we've done without the benefit of corporate donation. Just can't imagine what we can do with it.
Yeah. So if you go to warhog.com, you'll see a drop down page. It'll be Project Officer Survival. You kind of see some of our class picks, other things in there. But yeah, we'll try to keep that thing populated as much as we can, keep you guys abreast of what we're doing. And oh, by the way, being a nonprofit, the finances are held accountable, right? So you guys will see exactly where all your dollars are going and all that other stuff. But
yeah,
I'll just say this for the patrons listening out there, you guys stand by, because we've got some added stuff for you. Our new regiment is we'll have added content for the patrons after the regular podcast. So crew, appreciate all your support, and yeah, buddy.
Yeah, the show continues over on the Patreon page.
That's it, man.
Thanks, Rick. All right, guys.
Guys, train hard, stay